Boa tarde, espero que você tenha um ótimo dia. This is your man Larry, the American Brazilian. I always want to do that. Hope everybody's doing well. Hope you guys had a good day today. Okay, so this is going to be a little bit out of my comfort zone, but this is an issue that I wanted to speak about, and I really want to kind of know y'all feedback. Typically, I make posts about things that I feel are important or that interest me, or topics that I just kind of want to get what a general consensus is. Now, I know basically what I'm going to talk about for a while. It used to be taboo, but I don't think very much is taboo anymore in pretty much every society, specifically in American culture. However, I was listening to a live and they were talking about 304s and pay for play versus genuine dating. And now, you know, I've talked a little bit about it from a standpoint of what am I into? Obviously, you see this ring on my finger, so. And even to these days, that don't really mean a whole lot. However, I am not, necessarily, I'm not into pay for play. However, I think that what two people, consenting adults, make a decision and an agreement to do is their own business. And again, because I'm not into it, that doesn't necessarily mean it's wrong. It's just something that I am not into, me as an individual. Before I got married, before I met my wife, I dated in the U.S., few people. And one thing that I couldn't quite understand when I would hear messages like I've been hearing about pay for play, and there was this thing about how you pay for it one way or the other. Now, initially, I would kind of emotionally, I would rail against that. Like I would resist that, right? But when I look at it and when I think about it, I really have to admit, and it pains me to admit this, but there's a point to that. What do I mean? Well, think of a scenario, right? Well, first of all, let me say this. Okay, so if you take a woman out in today's economy, you're talking about I don't care if you're in a large metropolitan city or if you're in an intermediate city or a smaller city. You're going to pay on a good day. You're talking about between 100 as much as a few thousand, depending on where you go. And I know some people are like, oh, blasphemy, like you would never pay this. Trust me. Trust me. Yes, you can pay $300 like that and not even realize it. By the time you order food and drinks and appetizers and dessert and all of that stuff, $200-300, it's gone. However, I thought about the scenario after, and it seemed like the last few days I've been hearing the same argument. You pay for it one way or the other. And I thought about a scenario and just think with me, okay? Just humor me in my thoughts, right? Ride with me. You're about to, you meet a girl, you're sexually attracted to her. You really want to be with her intimately. You want to play baseball. But you understand in today's society, in today's culture, sometimes certain things are not, this thing is making noise. Certain things are not necessarily socially acceptable. And everything's PC. So you really have to be very careful in a lot of things you do, from compliments to how you help a person in and out of a vehicle, how you help a person in and out of a door entry or exit, how you even hold the door, if you even hold the door, how you greet. I mean, there's a whole laundry list of things that you really have to be careful about because you don't want to offend anybody. You definitely want to get me too. But anyway, I digress. Let's just say you're about to go out on a date. You met a girl. She's just, oh my goodness, she's just super gorgeous, fine, all of that. You got dreams of grandeur, dare I say. And she calls you and say, you know what? I know you are into me. I know you are attracted to me. I'm attracted to you too. how much were you planning on spending on the date? And let's just say she throws some disclaimers and pretties the argument up, or the discussion, and say, listen, I'm asking you that because I genuinely want to know. Like, I don't, it's not so much the amount, but I genuinely want to know what you intended on spending on this date. And let's just say you say, well, I really wanted to take you somewhere nice, maybe, between $200 to $300. And she said, wow, well, I'm impressed. I would have not suspected that, but wow, you really think that much of me, huh? And you're like, yeah, it's just, and say, well, let me ask you this. Why don't you do this? Why don't you give me that $250, $300? From that, I'll buy some burgers. Do you like fast food? Yeah, I like fast food. Give me that money. Cash App it to me. As a matter of fact, you can bring it over here when you come. Let's come over to the house. Or you come over to my apartment or my home. We Netflix and chill. You give me what I want, which is I want your body just like you want mine. And let's just have a good time. And then that way you can save money on a date. And then I'll buy some burgers, and whatever's left, I'll keep the change. Now, initially, you would think, oh, blasphemy, she thinks I'm a trick. Or you might think, man, this is insulting. Like, you might even say, hold on, man, like, what type of dude you think I am? Like, I don't go out like that. Like, I thought you were somebody different, and yada, yada, yada. And she's like, well, I know I'm the same person. I'm the person that you really wanted to be with. I understand you like me, you want to get to know me, but you didn't like me and want to get to know me because you didn't like what you see. I'm aesthetically pleasing to you, and you really want to be with me in an intimate way, so I'm just trying to cut through the chase. And man, no, I ain't with all that. You might hang up the phone, and you're going to think about it, and it might come to a point where you might be like, oh man, I should have took up on that. That's one scenario, right? Then let's talk about the traditional scenario. The traditional scenario is this. You take her out on a date. You have a good time. You both have a good time. You guys touch and all of this right here. You spend $300 on a date. Let's just say you spend $350. Let's just say it's a really good night. You order 2 or 3 old fashions for you, 2 or 3 old fashions for her. But you're close to home, and you're careful about driving. You drop her home, and she say, well, why don't you come in? And y'all go in and play baseball. I'm trying to think, and I'm just playing devil's advocate, okay? What is the difference? Is it A, the person cut through the chase, everybody enjoyed themselves, things happened, or B, it was traditional, you took the scenic route, but the same scenario or the ending that you experienced in A, you experienced in B. What is the difference? Now, again, I'm not, it's not my thing. But my point is, I kind of understand to some degree what they're saying. And I'm not trying to be like super naive, like I'm just not understanding it. But when people put things in a different light and they put things in perspective in a different way, I think maturity has taught me to understand things even if I disagree with them, right? So although I might not agree with it per se, and when I say per se and I use words like necessarily, is again, how are you going to stop 2 consenting adults that agree on something? How are you going to convince them that they shouldn't do that? There's really, if they're set on doing that, there's nothing that you can do. So, that in and of itself, I guess that's not illegal. But the fact that I don't necessarily deal with it, I'm not going to vilify somebody who's into that. Which is why I say I understand it. I understand the business aspect of it. I don't do it. I didn't do it, but I understand it. So I want to know what y'all think. Like, really, I want to know what y'all think. This is not beating up on anybody. This is not being judgmental. This is not me being pejorative. I'm definitely not being facetious. I genuinely want to know what y'all think. So in any event, and you know what? I got on here, I said to myself, I'll just ask a question for like 2 or 3 minutes and then it'll be done. It's like 10 minutes. Anyway, I digress. Let me know what you guys think. I really want to know. I want to know what you, how would you go about that? Would you take option A or would you take option B? Or have you taken option A or did you take option B? So I want to know. In any event, fala com você mais tarde. It's your man Larry, the American Brazilian, saying até a breve. Talk to you guys soon. É verdade.